Now we're live. Hello, this is David Rovix with another random episode of Discussions with David, which is a show that comes to you on regularly frequent weekday mornings at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. in London, 7 p.m. in Berlin, and it goes out on various platforms, including the Facebook pages of Popular Resistance and KBOO Community Radio, as well as my own Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, VK, LinkedIn, Twitch, and then it goes up as a podcast afterwards if you look for This Week with David Rovix, wherever you get your podcasts. And today I'm very happy to have on with us Roman Abraham, who is a teacher and a musician, who I first became acquainted with on the internet because he has a gorgeous Spanish language translation of my song St. Patrick Battalion, which I think is quite a bit better than the original. And this, with no further ado, is Roman. Great to have you with us, and I love the background, the stockings, and I have this curtain in the background, so it makes me look so professional. It's just for having guests in the living room, so they don't see all the clutter in the background. But it works well for broadcasting. Roman, I never know where to start these interviews because there's too many places to start. But you're in Mexico City, and I wonder if we can just start there. What's going on with the pandemic? I mean, here in the U.S., it's the health system is reaching its breaking point in many different parts of the country. The hospitals are full. And I don't know what's going on in Mexico City right now.
Well, nice to meet you, David.
Yeah,
Here
good to
in
meet you.
Mexico City, we have a big problem with the pandemic situation. In Mexico, I think that the big cities are having many problems, like Mexico City, like Monterrey, Nuevo León, like Coahuila. We have a traffic signal with the pandemic. We have in the red color now, and supermarkets are full of people, and many people don't believe about uh, the damage of the pandemic. So we have uh, a complex situation right now in Mexico.
Many people don't believe in the virus, or is there this kind of controversy between people who believe in the virus and people who don't believe it exists? Or
Well, I think both situations. Uh, um,
you got a
um,
phone call? It's okay. It's
yeah,
both. Are there people who don't believe it, or is it just is it the economic damage of the virus is worse than the virus?
yes, the economic damage in Mexico City with um, mm, all the business that
Everything's
all
shutting down.
the stores, the shops are closed now,
Yeah.
and also the toy stores, no, also the clothes stores, no. In this season, many people give a present, no, give toys, give uh, clothes,
Mm.
So it's very difficult for a lot of people, and also we have um, um, I don't know how to say tianguis. It's a market outside on the streets
Yeah,
in
every
Mexico.
Saturday, I remember in Mexico City, every Saturday, the parks just became alive with so much art and, I mean, art from every kind of artistic tradition and all kinds of music. It was just amazing. Like a festival in every park every Saturday. But that's not happening now?
Well, yeah, but that places are in a high risk, un alto
Yeah.
riesgo. Eh, em, wait. I need to find the just a word. High risk
High
of.
risk? Uh-huh. Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like so they're not doing the high risk activities.
Yes, high risk of contagion.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and COVID-19 is a terrible flu.
Yeah.
We have
Yeah.
three persons in my house with COVID-19,
Ah,
and yeah, it was
and
very difficult, very difficult.
very bad. And they all got through okay eventually?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they are now without, but was a terrible moment with the oximeter, with the oxygen. I don't know how to say tanque de oxígeno.
Oh, yeah. It got that
Yeah,
bad, huh? With intubation,
yes.
with the oxygen. Yeah. Yeah.
Intubation, no. That's
No.
could be a terrible situation.
Yeah.
And also the ambulances are sounding every day.
You hear it all the time.
In the neighborhood and in the hospital zones. It's terrible. Let a tiny watch. O sea, if you go to this hospital zones, it's terrible. Watch the people waiting a bed, waiting uh, uh, por atenderlos.
Because they're
Eh,
out there in the street. They're out there outside of the hospital. Yeah. It's not like all
yeah,
contained within the building. Yeah. People
yeah.
are waiting. Huh? Hmm. What's it like with the school? You teach little kids, and is the school
Uh,
happening online or not at all, or what's happening with have people gotten sick at the school?
yeah, but online, the school keep teaching, and that's my job from March until now. With Zoom, in my school, the school give computer and tablets to all the students because it's a international foundation, but many other schools don't have the same possibilities.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Because kids have to have Wi-Fi at home and have to have a
Yes,
tablet or a computer.
a lot of resources,
Yeah,
Wi-Fi, a good Wi-Fi because
yeah,
is very. It's an interesting phenomenon. No? It's very complex. Yeah, they need Wi-Fi. They need a tablet, a laptop. They need the books, the physical books, uh, and for example, of the books has uh, uh, a very good opportunity. I don't know uh, why the um, it's not a problem have a copy of the book, but many editorials, I don't know how to say, editor publishings,
mm.
are upset, are angry with that decision.
Yeah, because of copyright. Yeah,
Yeah, the
yeah,
knowledge
intellectual.
is a is a is a kind of democracy.
Yeah, right, right. Freedom of knowledge. Yeah. In many cities in the United States, because because the economy is so bad and people can't work with the virus, and they're not getting enough aid, and so many people are being evicted from their homes if they're renting, and there's been a lot more evictions happening in some parts of the country. what's been the situation like in Mexico City? Is there that kind of phenomenon happening with people losing their homes, or is there some kind of protection for people to stay in their homes?
Um, the Mexico City government has support to the shops, to the people. It's not enough. It's not, but it's a kind of help. Mm,
Mm.
uh, it's it's terrible. I the people English,
I know,
but
yes. And then then
people
this
not
the
lost their homes.
sorry, we
Yeah,
lost you for a moment there. The screen was frozen up there. Just at the time that you were having trouble with
oh,
English, the technology was also failing at the same time. It was the screen froze up. So please, Roma, the
okay,
technology
okay.
knew they knew. Say it again, Roman. Please continue. There
Uh,
hasn't
um,
there's been protection from the city and people aren't. There's not this. It's not a crisis of people being evicted, but it's a difficult situation anyway. You were saying.
yeah, for example, in Mexico City, the people have not lost their houses, but but yeah, we have an increase of unemployment.
Hmm.
And
Yeah. I,
mm, tell me.
I think, for many people who have been following Mexican politics for decades, it was very interesting that yeah, AMLO, that Obrador, uh, became the president, and many people were interested in his career when he was mayor of Mexico City, and then in 2006 when he ran and many people thought he should have won, but he didn't. And then this after when Calderon took over, there was it sort of was the beginning of a lot of terrible violence for many years in Mexico, and when AMLO did not win in 2006, and I know this is covering a lot of ground. It's a very, it's not. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to ask you to tell us the history of the past 20 years, but what has it been like since AMLO has been the president in Mexico? Has it been? I mean, he came into office, and then the pandemic started, so it's kind of hard to say anything about maybe what his government is really like, because who knows, with the pandemic everything's different. But I wonder if you just can talk about anything that's changed since he's been uh, leading the country.
Yeah, there is much controversy and political attacks by the media, by a lot of groups of, I don't know if is this correct, right or left politic structures. Um,
Both
uh,
ends of the media, right and left, are attacking him a lot.
yeah, yeah,
Mm.
it's like um, a good mood. There is a lot of irony, sarcasm, memes everywhere. But many groups, many politic groups, they are attacking every day to AMLO, attacking about in the media, properly, only the media, because
Mm.
it's a many people thinks AMLO is a good president, and I think he is a good president. It's like in Mexico, in American history, uh, it's like an Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln. In Mexico, we have uh, another character of the history, no, Valentin Gomez Farias. It's like an history of perseverance, of uh, but about the pandemic in Mexico. I don't know if has been the very good decisions. In March, we start the isolation, the quarantine, and always have um, a very bad taste of acceptation that in this condition. No, it's a very it's a very complex situation.
Yeah. Yeah, very complex. I mean, it's kind of like whatever and whatever you do, you lose in one
Yeah,
way or another. Yeah, and AMLO was not. He was sort of kind of wanting to just ignore the virus for a while. It seemed at the beginning.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I think he's from Tabasco in Mexico, and we have an a kind of let me check stereotypes about the people of the South in Mexico. He's
Uh huh.
very mm, um, sorry, is how determinate, but he's also a person stubborn. Stubborn. I
Stubborn.
don't
Yeah.
know if
Yeah.
the uh,
Yeah.
um, obst- obstinate, yes,
Obstinate. Obstinate.
obstinate, obstinate.
There's the
Sorry,
word.
I am using the Google Traductor. Um, in the next interview, I gonna interview in Spanish.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, that'll be a very short interview. Feliz
uh,
Navidad. Yeah. It'll be
yeah,
Oh,
I
man.
am doing my best. So,
Yeah,
uh, but
you're doing
well,
very well.
uh, i- i- well, about AMLO, it's a good person, it's a good president, but today is everything is political attack. Is attacking is he is being attacking
Yeah,
by
he's
a
being
lot of
attacked. Yeah.
but the media has a conference, a press conference every morning, and it's like a good program, a good political program, but it's a
Good
way
drama.
to show to the people that is close to the people, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. But then at every one of these, then the press attacks him there at the conference.
Um, Sometimes
Hmm.
because the press conference also has an strange. Uh, I need the perfect word to this. It's a praise moment to the president for also another um, media. Oh, president, you have the very good decision. Yeah, and I think the expression freedom, but we need counterweight. Is the correct word? Yes, because he's a good president, but we need to have an opinion, and not only stay with everything president action is good. No? I don't think that we need to have a vision of our opinion about the president. He's doing the best. He's doing the best, and, and he's trying also. See, at the beginning of the pandemic, he doesn't believe in the pandemic. He doesn't wear a mask. He
Mm.
also he usually eats in typical restaurants, and also he says the pandemic or the COVID-19 doesn't exist. Yeah, he at the beginning he says that. Nowadays, or actually, he says, "Hey, we need to take care of everyone." Yeah, but it's like a literacy character.
Yeah, like a character from fiction. Yeah, yeah. He's a larger than life. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. I often think with this whole pandemic, that fiction is never as good as the reality. Like all the movies, all the good movies about the
Yeah,
disaster, they're never as good as this. This is much more complex. The reality is much more interesting plot than the movies. The movies are more simplistic. Uh, the
yeah,
apocalypse movies. Yeah,
it's
Roman,
like
can you
prophecy. Tell me, tell me.
talk about well, we first met because of a song about history, and you've also written other songs about history. And talk about this tradition in your how it became something for you, writing songs about history and social commentary. It's a huge tradition around the world, but I think for a lot of people in the Spanish speaking world, this whole Nuevo Canción tradition is a huge part of your. I mean, for me, it's been a big part of my life, but even much be much more when you actually speak the language of Silvio Rodriguez and Pablo Milanez and Mercedes Sosa and all these different Vic Rahara. Uh, can you talk about this tradition in your life and or where it sort of started? Uh, Was there a certain point where you discovered it, or did you grow up with their music? And when did you start
Yeah,
writing?
well, when I was a teenager, I used to listen music with my father because my father was a technical sewing machine. He repaired that, and always he has a radio, and and I start to listen his music. I like a lot of musicians like Mercedes Sosa, Violeta Parra, Víctor Jara, Silvio Rodríguez, Pablo Milanés, um, Carlos Gardel in Argentina. um, and
Daniel
I,
Viglietti? You like
sorry,
Daniel Viglietti? You know Daniel Viglietti, who
it's
did
a tango composer.
no, Uruguay,
No,
a musician, a
ah,
songwriter who did the song Desalambrar. You've heard it before, I think, but now I can't remember. Silvio Rodriguez sang it too, I think. But
sí,
anyway, continue, please.
I need to study that composer. But well, in my personal life, like I always I always listen a lot of music, regional music. I like Mexico guapango, son de tarima, mariachi, uh, a kind of music called trova yucateca, as an style like blues in Coahuila called canto cardenche, an a cappella kind of song uh, with pentatonic scales like uh, Afro American American songs, but in Spanish. I'm
Mm.
gonna share you a link of Canto Cardenche. Tom Waits, the Beatles, Doors, um, well, and yeah, yeah, I think a lot of jazz and American jazz, Dixieland, Louis Armstrong, Duke Ellington. I like that kind of music. Um,
Did
so
you
I
did you
tell
hear
me.
all that music as a kid? Were you exposed to all that music as a kid?
I think yes, with the radio, it's
Yeah.
a radiophonic culture. I think. and
Yeah.
I have the eighth in my family. So my father was always an old man. So I enjoy listening his music. Chava
Yeah.
Flores, Tintán, Francisco Gabilondo Soler, Cri, the, the children for song for children. Sorry, uh,
Do you write songs
Bolero.
for children too, or have you
Yeah,
gotten into writing songs for kids? Uh-huh.
yeah. I used to translate a few songs, a French song, for example. I like many French songs. So I never found an Spanish version. So I say why don't I do the version of that song? I like
Great.
Luis Pesetti music in Mexico. Is an Argentinian composer, um, and I start to compose my own songs. Uh, in on the first for the children, and
Uh-huh.
then I like the history, the Mexican history. I like to talk about uh, character of the history, like José María Morelos, like the San Patrick Battalion, El Batallón de San Patricio.
Mm.
For example, I want to write a song about the St. Patrick Battalion, and was the moment I found your song, and I
Uh-huh.
listen the song, and I say, wow, they he won me. I don't know how to say that you
He
start
beat me. He did it
the post.
first.
Yeah, yes,
Someone else
I
did it.
say,
But
but it's a beautiful song, so I start to translate it because I need to tell this to my students because I always have worked in the schools, and I like that history chapters in Mexico. For example, la batalla de Puebla's Battle, 5 May, 5 de Mayo, ¿no?
mm,
Eh,
yeah.
and it's the independence, the history, the music in the Porfiriato, in the government of Porfirio Diaz.
Mm.
A lot of French music, no? A lot of I don't know how to say like an still French. In Mexico, we say afrancesamiento, no? We copy the French traditions, no?
Mm.
Uh, consume or eat cheese, wine, the clothes, also sentences and phrases. No? For example, in Mexico, we say, when you don't know something about some topic, in English, you can say, sorry, I don't know. But in Mexico, we say, sepa. Sepa is like the French John Pa, no? And so
Uh-huh.
I like all that curiosities in our history.
Yeah.
The Saprati Battalion is a very good history, and um, I live very near of the Churubusco
Mm.
when all the place of Churubusco is it's like a cemetery.
A
It's
cemetery. The site of the
uh,
last battle of the San Patricios during the Mexican-American War. Yeah, in Churubusco. Yeah,
in Churubusco,
yeah.
near the Coyoacan town, because there was a general called Pedro Maria Anaya,
Uh-huh.
and there was, I think, Winfield Scott was a terrible man, a very smart man, but very, very, very terrible. Also, the San Pedro Battalion was uh, captured. Is correct?
Mm. Yeah.
And the shotguns stop it. Also, an American soldiers arrived to Pedro Maria Naya for asking, "Hey, why don't you shoot to us?" No? And he say, "If we have bullets, you don't be here. You don't be here." No? I'm gonna say the phrase in Spanish. Si tuviéramos parque, usted no estaría aquí.
Mm. It's much more poetic in Spanish, huh? This is
Yeah, no.
I mean,
The,
your translation of the St. Patrick Battalion, I think when I look at your translation and I translate it back into English, I know that's a very awkward thing to do, but it's beautiful what you've done. I mean, I think your song is much better than my song.
oh,
And I
thank you very
think
much.
and I wonder if is that an experience you've had often when you do a translation that you can really kind of improve on the song, that it's like having an assignment, and you're in a way you're rewriting the song, and you get to do a second version of it, and in a way it makes it easier to make a better version. I wonder if you have that experience often where I mean, you write, you do a translation, and it's like this is better than the original version.
Wow, thank you very much for your words. I don't know if it could be better than you. Your version is very. Um, I think is very important to the lyric in Mexico because there's no songs about San Pedro Hill. Uh, I found in YouTube on YouTube many videos talking about the battle, the San Churubusco, la batalla de Churubusco, Churubusco battle, but there is no songs in Spanish. So I think why don't make this translation, and in another parts I need to write uh, uh, a many tiny verses, sentences to fix, to I don't know how to say it, fix, I mean,
To make
to
it
tell.
work in Spanish.
uh,
Yeah?
I found the phrase, found the word. For
Mhm.
example, there is a part that you say, we fought in Matamoros, Cerro Gordo, and Monterrey, no?
Mm.
And I put, peleamos en Matamoros, Buenavista y Monterrey. In my and I found a paper, a newspaper, for the that that date, and in the newspaper says, American are, uh, es que no lo sé decir. Wait. If you say Spanish, you gonna help me. Son derrotados norteamericanos por un batallón irlandés.
Mhm.
That's the phrase.
Uh-huh.
Let me check this. I know the phrase because it's very important to me. Yes.
And
Um,
this also your translation, your version of the song, it was going to be on Radio Educacion's website, but then
mhm.
that didn't. The pandemic put those plans on hold for now. Their
Sí,
website.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So if we get
Yeah,
you to
in
sing the
Radio
song,
Educación,
then it's the only version available, huh?
yeah. In Mexico, there is the a version in Spanish. Mm, mm, I don't know if someone else has made an Spanish version, but um, talking about Radio Educación, talking the, about this project, is the first song talking about the St. Patrick Battalion. And for me, I am very proud for that that is the that I don't know that goal for me and make a translation about your song. Um, because for that reason I contact you to tell, and also because I need your permission by law.
That's convenient. It's convenient. That
Yeah,
gave us
yeah,
a chance to meet.
yeah. Americans are defeated by an Irish battalion.
Ah, yeah.
That's the phrase. Americans are
Excellent.
defeated by an Irish battalion. Son derrotados norteamericanos por un batallón irlandés. Imagine the people in Mexico reading that note in the newspaper. No?
Yeah,
Yeah.
excellent.
Yes.
Roman, could we get you to do a performance of the song since we could get an exclusive performance?
Wow. Yeah. Let me. I go my guitar.
Uh-huh.
With headphones is better. I don't know.
I don't know, because you won't hear yourself through the headphones, so it might be easier for you if you don't wear headphones, but up to you.
Okay. Let me put this. Ya sé, ya sé. A ver. Mi nombre es John Riley. Acerca tu oído a mi voz. Dejé mi hogar en Irlanda en medio de hambre, muerte y dolor. Al llegar a Norteamérica fui reclutado sin contemplación. Cruzar entre balas los valles de Texas rumbo a una batalla mayor. Anduve entre villas y pueblos, testigo de llanto y dolor. Era una guerra sin nombre ni causa, yo era un soldado invasor. México vive un infierno en la tierra, decía un soldado menor. Junto conmigo 200 valientes formamos aquel batallón. Desde Dublín hasta San Diego negaron nuestra libertad. Y San Patricio bendice la lucha del gran batallón de verdad. Y San Patricio bendice la lucha del gran batallón de verdad. Con nuestra propia bandera redobla el tambor militar. Junto con los mexicanos cantamos las voces de unión, libertad. El trébol de la buena suerte rodea el nido del águila real. Aunque ande en valle de sombra y de muerte, juramos jamás desmayar. Desde Dublín hasta San Diego negaron nuestra libertad. Y San Patricio bendice la lucha del gran batallón de verdad. Y San Patricio bendice la lucha del gran batallón de verdad. Peleamos en Matamoros, Buenavista, Monterrey. Son derrotados norteamericanos por un batallón irlandés. En un diario está escrita la nota que asombra a todo quien la lee. Luchamos en contra de la tiranía y lo volveríamos a hacer. Desde Dublín hasta San Diego negaron nuestra libertad. Y San Patricio bendice la lucha del gran batallón de verdad. Y San Patricio bendice la lucha del gran batallón de verdad. Fuimos llamados traidores, legiones de extraños sin fe. En Churubusco enfrentamos la guerra, caímos por última vez. Fue nuestra muerte en aquellas laderas, la soga impaciente de sed. Hierros candentes, cobardes cadenas, marcaron con fuego la piel. Desde Dublín hasta San Diego, negaron nuestra libertad. Y San Patricio bendice la lucha, gran batallón de verdad. Desde Dublín hasta San Diego, negaron nuestra libertad. Y San Patricio bendice la lucha del gran batallón de verdad. Y San Patricio bendice el gran batallón de verdad.
Yeah, wonderful.
That's
Wonderful.
the
Beautiful.
song. Yeah, thank you.
Roman, what's the situation with performance? We lost myself. I lost me for a moment there.
Okay.
Am I back? What with
No problem.
live music is not been happening lately. Lots of music venues shut down and nobody's performing. I mean, there's so many people who were dependent on performing all over Mexico, playing music, and this is what's been happening with musicians.
Yeah. It's an explosion of musicians.
There's so many.
I don't understand the question.
The question of people being able to play music. There's nobody's. Is there live music happening anywhere these days with the pandemic, or only indoors in people's bedrooms?
Only online.
Yeah.
In the bedroom. We have the culture minister, la Secretaría de Cultura, has online concerts because it's very dangerous. And we have the traffic signal in red, so we can't do it.
Yeah, red.
Any presentation, musical presentation, musical concert. Los mariachis han guardado silencio. The mariachi are silence today.
Yeah. That's it's hard to imagine, but it's everywhere. I guess the same kind of story with.
But the online concerts has very frequently on the web, on Facebook, on Twitter. A lot of musicians, a lot of groups are music with the laptop, with the internet.
How popular is Nuevo Canción, or the kind of music we're into? Like, I mean, compared to like really popular music, like the stuff that's like salsa and whatever, like really popular. I mean, how much of an influence is it in society today, would you say?
The popular music is sounding everyone in everywhere. But the Trova Nueva Canción, it's a popular genre
genre. Yeah, French.
Here in Mexico, also in the universities.
in public places. We have folk composers. See this is my new song about, or in also Silvio Rodriguez cover in the Mexico City, in the restaurants, in another in many places. For example, in Coyoacán.
Silvio Silvio Rodriguez, would you say he really kind of stands above everybody else in a way, like kind of? I mean, he's a sort of almost a godlike figure among musicians, isn't he? I mean,
Yeah,
everybody. There's so many people trying to sound like him, right? There's
yeah,
probably nobody who is more imitated than Silvio Rodriguez. Would you say? I mean,
yeah.
that's just by my observation, and I think that makes sense. He's amazing. He's amazing.
I
But
think in
I mean, his
Mexico
voice.
City, yeah, Silvio Rodriguez, he has a lot of fans in Mexico. A
Yeah,
lot of person who knows how to play exactly the same song. It's like the Beatles cover in a bar. You say, "Wow, they sound better than the Beatles."
yeah. Note for
Yeah,
note. Yeah.
yes. Silvio Rodriguez, Fernando Delgadillo in Mexico, he
Mhm.
has a lot of fans too. Um,
Is he
Rodrigo,
doing similar kind of?
yeah,
What'd you say?
Nueva Canción or
No.
Informal Song. He says he has called Informal Song or sí, Nueva Canción. Uh, yeah.
Are there a
Mm,
lot of people out there? Would you say who are just amazing songwriters in this kind of tradition that very few people have heard of outside of their little neighborhood or their city or something? A lot of local people, or just how I mean, when I was in at the World Social Forum many years ago in 2004 in Brazil, there were so many songwriters there in this one music tent sponsored by Cuba and Venezuela. Uh, so many people who sounded like a lot like Silvio Rodriguez and who were really great, uh, writing great material. And I had never heard of any of them. And so I wonder how this must be. There must be so many other songwriters out there that I've never heard of. I mean, this is
yes,
obvious,
yes.
but yeah,
There's many composers in Mexico. For example,
yeah.
if not a commercial of publicity, but for example, David Aguilar. David Aguilar is a young composer in Mexico. He has very amazing songs.
What's his name?
David Aguilar. David Aguilar.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
I think he is a very good composer. Um,
And
mm,
he's telling stories about history as well, that sort of thing, talking about social issues.
he usually talks about uh, histories, poetry. He has he's a talented person writing poetry and making song with them with it. I gonna show you links about his music.
David Aguilar. Yeah, good.
David Aguilar, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the same name of you, David.
Yeah, that makes it easy.
Yeah. Yes. But in the streets, it's always sounding cumbia, salsa, cumbia. I live in Iztapalapa, in
Mhm.
Mexico City. So no, Iztapalapa is a place where cumbia govern.
Great. That doesn't
Yeah,
sound so bad.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So always. Boom, boom, uh, yeah,
great. That's
uh,
the
uh, all that.
the life soundtrack. Yeah.
Yeah, in Mexico City, the all music for dance, tropical dance, wow, in every corner. The
W
workshop, the stores.
Roman, could we get you to do another song? Would you do perhaps one of the ones you wrote? I know you were talking about a train. You wrote a song about a train.
Yes,
I'd be interested to
yes.
hear it if you
It's
would.
um, in Mexico we celebrate the trains day on 7th, no, November 7th, because there is an history about a man who saved his town um, of an explosion with dynamite in Nacosari, Sonora. So uh, I composed a western song.
Great. It sounds so Western already.
Yeah. It's a. I think this style in Mexico should be more famous. I don't know. Well, I wanna sing it. Tumban en noviembre 100 ecos de una explosión. 1907. Pueblo minero. Llegaba aquel vagón donde se ha tomado el cobre. 10 toneladas van del poderoso explosivo. En la cabina descendió el maquinista de Hermosillo. No sé, pero presiento que jamás te vuelvo a ver. Algo pasa en este día. Y a su madre inquieta, este joven contestó: mi trabajo es en la vía. Se despide de su hogar, regresa al riel de mina, viendo cómo arde el furgón que contiene paja fina. Nacosari, lo sabes muy bien, tienes al héroe que da la vida en tren. Nacosari, desierto de Oyamel, en noviembre volviste a nacer. Nadie sabía lo que se debía de hacer. El fuego avanza rápido, decía un muchacho. Carruajes huyendo de la estación del tren, mientras unos rostros negros van luchando. Se oye redoblar de humo y vapor las bocanadas, coronando al animal de hierro que lentamente se desplaza. El ferrocarril a gran velocidad era el demonio en rieles. Llegando el 6 fue cuando comenzó a los carboneros, sin pensarlo se arrojaron. La máquina estalló. Los montes desaparecieron. Un estruendo como temblor. Llovieron maderas y aceros. Nacosari, lo sabes muy bien, tienes al héroe que da la vida en tren. Nacosari, desierto de Oyamel, en noviembre volviste a nacer. Nacosari, lo sabes muy bien. Tienes al héroe que da la vida en tren. Nacosari, desierto de Oyamel. En noviembre volviste a nacer.
Lovely. Can you give us a little English version of the story behind the song?
Yeah, in fact, I have the version in English. Was a friend from a girl, a friend girl from I know it's not my girlfriend. It's a friend.
Yeah, yeah.
She's
Right. It was
a
a
woman.
girl. Got it. Complicated language.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
did you guys
She,
work on a song together,
yeah.
an English version?
For example, Nakosari, you know it very well. You have the hero who give his life in train. Nakosari, the Oyamo desert. In November, you were born again. Something
Ah,
like that.
nice. Yeah,
Yeah,
that works.
yeah.
Yeah.
In Mexico, we have the mining industry at the beginning of the 20th century, and it, in a town called Nakosari has a copper industry. So one day, a machinist, I don't know if correct, the machinist,
Hmm.
the conductor of the train, arrives to Nakusari, and he went to eat to their mama, to their mom, and and his mom says, "Hey, Jesus, I think I never seen you again. No, I wait me. I am telling to this story with a very bad English. You need to apologize me. So
She's
uh,
saying she won't see him again. Mhm.
I am very good telling the story in Spanish.
Yeah, I bet. I bet. Yeah.
um, so in fact, quickly, he he went to their train, and the train was on fire. So all the wagons of the train have a dynamite, 10 tons of dynamite. Imagine
Mm,
that, no?
it's
With
a lot.
only 20 grams of dynamite, you can, wow, explode a car. So
Yeah.
he to the train and called to the, I don't know how to say, carboneros, the people
Mm.
who the charcoal to
Ah, right. Yeah.
carbón a la caldera, ¿no? And he is, I don't know how to say, se llevó el tren lejos del pueblo, far to the town. He start to the train. Go ahead, go.
Hmm.
And 6 miles of distance, the train
Uh-huh.
explode. The train
Right.
explode, but he saves Nakusari town. He saves the Nakusari town. Uh, could be
Good.
a disaster.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that that events occur in 1907, 1907.
Hmm. Mm.
Uh, yeah. Uh,
Great.
Also, I don't know, the, was declared a hero, and the town changed its name by Nacosari de Garcia Corona in honor for Jesus Garcia Corona.
That's a
His
big
name,
honor. Change the
his
name of the
name,
town.
yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's for me, it's I discovered that biography with an encyclopedia in my house.
Oh,
I
great.
always reading, and in my school, near of my school, there was an street called Héroe de Nacosari, and I didn't know why that name. So in the encyclopedia, I found Jesus Garcia Corona, Nacosari hero, and I say, wow, this is very important to me because there's a street near to my school called like this.
Nice.
And when I read the biography, I was was an amazing moment for me because I think talking about Mexican heroes, always we talking about Pancho Villa, we talking about a person with a gun, Emiliano
Yeah.
Zapata, and that are very important, Pancho Villa and Emiliano Zapata. But I think this kind of hero it was more important because uh, save to the people, sacrifice.
Had
Uh,
anyone written a song about this event before that, as far as you know?
yes, there is a song called Máquina 501, uh, 501 machine, no? Because the 500 was the overall the Levi's
Hmm.
Levi's 501, no? So it's a corrido. It's
Hmm.
a song of the north of Mexico. Es Máquina 501, la que corría por Sonora. Por eso los garroteros, el que no suspira llora. With mariachi, with like los Tigres del Norte, with
Great.
bajo sexto, with accordion. Uh,
Great.
and there is no more songs about Jesus Garcia Corona. Um, uh, Verses, lyrics in the book songs, old
Mm.
book songs, but
Hmm.
the music has lost. The music has
Hmm.
lost about that kind of music. Yeah,
A lot of lost music. A lot of music. It was like sing to the tune of this song that you've never heard before. It says in the old songbooks. Oftentimes, it says, sing
yes,
to the tune of this song that. Okay, but we've never heard this song before, so that's not helpful. Yeah,
yeah.
that's
To rebuild, reconstruir. We need to make
mm,
a new
yeah,
song.
that's right.
For example, in the Benito Juarez times, there is a lot of songs, very good, and uh, brilliant composer has made a new music. Yeah, for example, just a little. Uh, like French song, ¿no? Me quisiera comer un panecillo con azúcar y canela muy caliente. Me quisiera arrancar hasta los dientes, tan solo por tu amor. Me quisiera comer un panecillo con azúcar y canela muy caliente. Me quisiera arrancar hasta los dientes, tan solo por tu amor. Por ti, bella Mariana. And sounds like 20s, like 20. Uh,
Great,
that's uh,
great,
that kind of songs has lost in
wonderful.
Mexico.
Mm.
There is a lot of music um, lost, lost,
Yeah,
extraviada, perdida. We don't know. And and when we found a song like this, it's like a treasure. It's like, hey, wait,
yeah,
there's a song. I need
yeah.
I need to rewrite. I need to make an internet research
Oh,
to
yeah,
found more information from this song. Huh?
yeah. And so many musical traditions that are still very much alive. So much music that is not lost too. Eh? I mean,
Yeah.
all over. You'll go, I mean, you travel all over just Mexico, only just Mexico alone. You find dozens and dozens of different musical traditions everywhere. Yeah.
The Huapango
Mm.
music is like flamenco. It's very they have many it's very similar
Yeah.
in in the lyrics, the African music, el son veracruzano, in the Guerrero zone, in the state of Guerrero, there is
Mm.
son de tarima. In Oaxaca, Oaxaca sounds like Romania, like the volcanic music.
Right.
Really, really, because
Mm.
you listen that music and you say, "Wow, that's sounds for all the parts of the world." Because
Mm.
in Mexico we have a lot of migration, but in the history books only says the Aztec and the Spanish, no more. But
Yeah.
that is not true.
No.
A lot of the gypsy people, a lot of Jews in the New Spain, a lot of person came to Mexico.
Hmm.
A lot of African music, African people, the Philippines island, they come
Mm.
to the New Spain, and you can see that mix on the food because
Yeah.
you look at the ingredients and you check wow, I have rice here and I have beans, I have wow, a lot of ingredients. I think that the in the gastronomy there is a lot of
Mm.
history about the mix of culture in Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah. That would tell you a lot based on what's in the food, huh? If
Yeah.
you're doing studying the background of a place. Yeah.
Yeah, because the Mexican food is very delicious.
It is very and so many different kinds of food, as you say. Like you go
Yeah,
all of
yeah.
if you I don't know how much time you've spent up here in the United States, but people have a certain idea of Mexican food as if there's
Yes.
one kind. It's a
I have
very
seen a lot of pics of tacos
yeah
like a toasted tortilla.
yeah
I don't
yeah
know.
that's
I don't
right.
know.
Toasted tortilla.
I
Yeah, that's
think I
yeah
think that sounds good. I think tastes good, but that is not Mexican.
no
But
no
it's part of the mix of culture. No, it's like Halloween and Dia de Muertos
yeah
are two celebrations very closer between them,
yeah
but have
seems
many
like
differences. And it is a party. Both of them is a party. I don't know. There's people
yeah
in Mexico that that the people says, "Hey, don't celebrate Halloween. Celebrate Dia de Muertos." I think why don't we celebrate everyone, every
yeah
every
I
party?
like I love both
Yeah,
holidays. They're both my favorite holidays.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
everybody dresses up as dead people and communes with the dead, and there's ghosts, and I mean, it's wonderful. 'Cause skeletons and artwork, and it's fantastic. The
yeah.
artwork.
That was a work
Well,
for increase the tourism in the Lázaro Cárdenas time, because Lázaro Cárdenas was the president in the 30s in Mexico, and in that time starts to the golden movies, Cantinflas, María Victoria, Pedro Infante, and in that moment there was a great I don't know how to say show to the world the Mexican culture, and in that
mhm,
moment was the Dia de Muertos born as we know today,
great. Yeah,
because the Dia de Muertos is yes, this is a prehispanic tradition, but it's very different. it's very different. A pre-Hispanic ceremony
Mm,
um, in and you on YouTube on the TV we say a party about the Dia de Muertos, very different, are very amazing, are amazing with alebrijes, with calaveras de azúcar, coplas. We have in that time uh, the people make poetry, humoristic poetry about the death. No? For example,
right.
I could make you a calaverita literaria, no? Talking about you, David Roix, and it's very funny that traditions.
That's a wonderful tradition. Yeah, and also making fun of people who are alive too is part of the tradition. Yeah, I
Yes.
mean I know I saw that. It was described to me in Mexico when I was there. There was somebody making up a song about the host of the party, and it's very good. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ramon,
and
it's
we have
been a great pleasure talking with you for the hour, or hour
yeah.
longer than an hour, but yeah,
So
great to meet
so
you.
sorry for my English. I think
Ah,
Sofia Vergara
wonderful.
talks a better English than me.
Your English is
Be-
wonderful.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's
I need to practice more. I need to
oh good.
practice
Well,
more.
I've given you a good hour of practice.
Yes, 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 yes. I need to practice more because it's a nice, a beautiful idiom. The English. My favorite writers. I have a lot of writers, and American and British. I don't know
Mm, yeah.
music. So I have more very. I don't know. I can listen, but when I try to talk, I have a lot of mistakes because I need to practice my conjugation, my grammar, the prepositions.
It's much harder.
So
Talking is harder than listening, huh? Yeah.
yeah, you don't have subtitles.
Yeah.
That will help me a lot. Uh,
I'll talk to
Thank you
you
very
again,
much,
Ramon.
David.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Yes, yes.
We'll be in
Thank you.
touch. Thank you.
Yeah.
And thanks everybody for tuning in to this discussion with Roman Abraham in Mexico City, musician, teacher, and also translator of a particular song of mine. And thanks for tuning in. And I will be back. Actually, I'll be back on Saturday. I'll be doing a concert for the internet at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. So maybe I'll see you then for my last Saturday concert if anybody wants to tune in. And thanks for listening. And you can hear these broadcasts and all this interview you've just been listening to. You can hear it in podcast form if you go look for This Week with David Rovics wherever you get your podcasts, or go to davidrovics.com or get the David Rovics mobile app if you want. All right. Thanks for listening. And remember, don't pay the rent. Mutual aid will get us through. Trust your neighbors.